stream. Sorry for the delay in content. I've been a little busy lately, but hopefully everybody's doing well. I know last time we didn't like the camera angle very much, so we're doing this short style here. This is the Dell we ended on. This is a P4. No hyper threading on this one, nothing real special. So we're going to go ahead and unplug everything, and we'll take a look at the next Dell case. But just for fun, I just want to refresh my memory on this one here. It's got a little bit of a bend in the case back here. I think that's supposed to be straight, but not 100%. This is actually a really nice, clean case, as opposed to the one that had a mouse in it. But it's got the P4. This has 4 channels of memory, so this one's a pretty good candidate to go ahead and keep. The case is a little scratched, but nothing that can't be cleaned up. I like this one. I think we're going to keep this for a retro build, and we'll see this one again in the future. So we'll put this one in the keep pile. And up next, let's take a look at a similar plastic build. This one here does have the hyper threading P4. It's a Dimension 8300. And I see that this one's also got that bent flange, which I suppose means that it's supposed to be bent. This one's made for XP Home. We have some discrete video, so that's kind of an exciting addition here. Probably made this a little bit nicer back in the day. The case is a little beat up on this one too, and we've got some loose components in here. And I don't know if this RAM, it's kind of interesting. You might not be able to see it, so I'm just going to describe it. But the RAM in here looks like it is straight up DDR 400 megahertz, so nothing very special. It's actually got 2 bays of 2, and one bay is slant loaded, one bay is just straight loaded. I assume that's to accommodate this hard drive cage in here. No hard drive in this one, so that's good. The prior owner obviously wanted to protect their data. Very smart. If you're recycling a computer, take the hard drive out. Looking here at our discrete video, not sure what we've got. So let's, I love these plastic releases in these cases. Really nice design by Dell. It's an AGP. I'm going to guess this probably came with this card. So it's got bulged caps on the top there. Looks like it needs a complete recap, which is not a big deal. This has DVI, VGA, and S video. And I'm going to see, I'm going to guess this is probably an NVIDIA card. Probably a GeForce. And it's probably a 1 gigabyte. Yep, it's an NVIDIA. And we're going to save this outside of the case here. We'll do a recap and save that. And then, of course, we have a modem in here. I'm going to guess this is a 56.6 Connexent. Yep, usually came shipped with these. That's a basically a throwaway part these days, unless you're doing a multi-modem build just for fun. Now our processor here is underneath this giant heat shield. And one thing I'll say about the Dell heat shields is they're very distinct. So if you're ever like out looking in dumpsters or looking for one of these out in the wild, chances are if most of the case is missing and you're not sure who made it, you can look at that heatsink and that'll tell you exactly what you've got. The one thing I don't like about these plastic releases is the one side's easy enough to get in and out. The other side is tight to the power supply, and that gets to be a bit of a bear to remove later. These are nice big copper pieces in here. They actually cool pretty well, especially on these P4s that tend to run really, really hot. But this one's stuck down pretty good. And just looking to make sure I'm not pulling on anything that has a release, because I don't want to damage the chip. But I'm not really seeing go. Yep, so side release on this one. Nice big heat sink. It actually had the proper amount of heat paste on there. I'm surprised by that. And it's amazing how small these Pentium 4s are compared to, of course, the earlier Pentium chips. There's your P4. Let's get a look at that. So it's a P4. Wow. P4 3 gigahertz with hyperthreading. That's a nice chip. Really clean. It doesn't look like it's heat damaged. So we'll hang on to that. Just given the state of this case, it's a little bit less nice than the last one. But it is still a reasonable build. It's got, looks like early SATA power available. It probably did have a SATA hard disk at one point. Very dusty, so this thing definitely saw some use probably in somebody's house. If nothing else, it's got a nice heat sink, a nice fan. Let's get this back together and see if we can get a boot. I will say the heat sink surrounding here with the plastic release, it's kind of nice. I didn't really realize that's the way this was set up. So that being the case, these little pinch-in heatsink releases, you can rest assured that if you can't get them in because you can't see or you can't quite get them go back in the way you want them, you know, it will sit just fine. But these are actually going in all right. I've had them in the past where they just don't want to come out and you end up breaking one or breaking both. But at the end of the day, it is a Dell, so don't sweat it if that's the case. Now, this does not have any onboard video, and that card is just not going to work. So let's go ahead and we're not going to have a hard drive to boot to either, but we can probably get it to boot to BIOS if we can find a spare AGP video card. Typically, I have a number of these sitting around. So bear with me just a minute here. I'm going to go ahead and grab one. Okay, so we're pulling a VGA card. This is an ATI Radeon Rage 128 Ultra. This came out of our mouse-infested case. So we're going to go ahead and slip this one into slot. Everything looks good on this, so it should plug and pray. And I say that not to make fun of LR sounds, but that is actually an expression we used back in the day when you were doing plug and play, because half the time you'd have luck, half the time you'd be stuck. So hopefully everything goes well here. Got a good fit. Go ahead and slip that into place. Make sure we're all secure there. We're going to reload our RAM back into the bay. Looks like whoever pulled the hard drive out of this might have been trying to take the RAM and then change their mind and just toss it back in the case. I'm hoping that doesn't cause any issues. I'm also just looking at the caps as I go here. See one more back here that is a little questionable, but it's not really bulged, so I think we're going to be okay. So again, we're just looking for a BIOS boot here, nothing else. Get our VGA there, USB keyboard, and I believe we had this on the Dell monitor here. Always keep spares of everything, monitors included, because you never know when one might fail. So with everything plugged in, we will, with a hope and a prayer, get some power going to this and see if we can boot to BIOS. Hey, Magic Man Gaming 2014. Hey, how's it going? Lucia Flores. Apologize for not talking to the chat. Just want you guys to know I am not watching the chat as I'm streaming here. So if I'm rambling to myself, hey, give me a hard time about it. Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I should be talking to the chat. My intention was to stand behind the camera and show the boot. but I'm just going case by case, and I didn't know if anybody was going to join. So definitely appreciate you all jumping in today. I'm going to go ahead and fire up the power here. And yes, normally I don't live stream teardowns. Just happen to have a lot of Dells, so that's what I do. Yes, this is an Optiplex, or actually this is a Dimension 8300 series. Sorry about that. And it looks like with power on, we've got the CMOS battery is dead. There is no boot device in here. So we're going to go ahead and just let it tell us that. See what we got going here. Yep. Going to be no good. So let's go to the setup utility. Thinks it's 2003. How wrong could it be? So we got 3 gigahertz Pentium 4, the 512 KB integrated level 2 cache. Not bad overall. Nice, easy to read setup utility. This one would have came with XP Home actually shipped. I think the earlier Dimensions probably came with Windows 98. There's probably a run of economy grade with Celerons that came with Windows ME, Mistake Edition, but not 100% sure on that, to be honest with you. I didn't have a lot of Dells back in the day. I just happen to have a lot of them now. If you'll forgive me, I'm going to step away. Let's move on to the next case here. But hey, keep dropping questions and stuff in the chat. I'll be getting back and forth to the chat. So appreciate everybody's engagement there. I'm glad to see that video card from our mouse infested Dell from the last live stream works just fine. So that's always good. This one being a nice case and everything, I'm going to put this in the keeper pile as well. All right. Next up, got a small form factor Dell. This is a newer one, Core i5. And I believe we're looking at an Optiplex 790 with a stink bug on it. Get that out of here. Not going to bother tearing this one apart. I know you guys really aren't interested in that. So let's just plug it in. And then I will hop back to the chat. We can see this one fire up. I did see an LED flash, so I think it's got power. We'll let this boot up and see what happens. Yeah, that's absolutely true. They did have a lot of proprietary power supplies, especially in these smaller form factors. So it's why I try to hang on to as many of the power supplies as I can. Even if I scrap the rest of the case, it's always nice to have them hanging around. All right, so the 790 fired right up. Invalid configuration, probably due to a dead battery. Let's take a look at our setup options and get some information about this machine. Yeah, I agree. Dells are not exactly the greatest machines. So we've got 8 gigs of RAM, not bad. DDR3, looks like pretty much matching across the board here. 1333. And it's a Core i5. Looks like a quad core at 3.1. That's not terrible, honestly, for a Dell. I'm wondering if this is maybe a system I opened up before and upgraded. You can actually change the number of cores you're engaging. That's cool. Oh, cool. If you've got a wiring diagram and a conversion kit for those Dell power supplies, yeah, hit me up. I'd be interested to see that. It's always interesting to have. Very interesting. So this Intel chipset has a speed step, which enables you to change your performance states. And a turbo boost. I wish it just had a turbo button. Turbo buttons would be cool. But cool. So we know it's a good boot and actually not bad for a Core i5. I don't typically save the Core i5 and newer stuff when I find them. I like the older machines. I'm more of a retro guy. But this 790, I mean, it runs quiet. It's Has plenty of processing power. It's not exactly something that I would probably use as an everyday driver, but you could probably do some. I don't want to call it retro gaming, I guess, but some more modern retro, I suppose. So you've got a Optiplex with a Core 2. Oh, a Core 2 Duo quad, and you're running a Radeon in it. Interesting. That's a neat build. Um, what are you running on that you're using that build? Because this one here, oh, it's a surplus from University of Wisconsin Eau Claire. This is somebody bought this and promptly recycled it. Here's our sales tag, actually. $75 for this machine at the surplus store. It's got Windows 10 installed. And yeah, actually not bad. 2019 build, so not really a machine I'm going to need, but it's nice enough and new enough that I'll probably hang on to it just for, I might use it as a file server or something, but I gotta say, I'm impressed. It's quiet, it's got a good amount of memory for its age. I'm gonna go ahead and just shut her back down here. Give her a gentle shutdown rather than a unplug. Oh, okay. Yeah, just like a 360 then. Cool. Yeah, that's a nice build for that use. I will say I have it on my list of to do is to repair my Xbox 360. I have a bunch of games, but I haven't played them in forever because I got the red ring back in, oh gosh, I think it was in college or fresh out of college, and everybody got the red ring back in the day, of course, and I just never took the time to do anything with it after that. Probably should have, but you know, lazy, right? Next up, we've got another XP machine. This one is an interesting one. It's got Core 2 Duo. And for an XP machine with a dual core, that's not bad. We do have a discrete video in here. I'm not sure what kind. Hopefully it doesn't have the bulge capacitor issue. I guess we'll find out. Whew! And it's got one hell of a fan. I don't know if you heard that fan kick on, but gave me a nice dusting there. All right, we'll go ahead and hit the power button, fire it up. And if you can hear that jet engine of a fan going, that was impressive. Sounds like we've got beep codes going, and I guess memory issues. 3 beeps. Or is it 2 beeps? Can't really tell. All right, let's shut it down. Let's open it up. I'm sure we'd all love to see this Core 2 Duo boot. This one's nice and easy to get at. Got a side case here. And tough to tell by looking at it what the issue might be. Very clean in here. I'll just get a look, see. It's like a memory's mounted fine. Processor looks good. We've got a bulged cap on the board. That's probably the culprit. So, needs repair. Not a big deal, but I want to see if this one boots as is in the future. I'm not going to waste y'all's time on it. Nice aluminum case on this, by the way. Although I will say putting it back together is kind of wonky. It's all right. I have to get back into it later anyway. So we'll put her in the repair pile. All right. i7 5th gen. Whew. It's a nice build, though. I like that. Wow, so you're running dual at a total of 8 gigs of, wow, DDR5. That's a pretty slick rig, I gotta say. I'm impressed. Let's see. Let's go with another older Dell. This is a Dimension 4600, another P4, another junkyard find. This one, no discrete video, so we're looking at onboard. So I'm not expecting much from this machine, but I'm a sucker for old onboard. I don't know if you have all live streamed before, but it's given me like these weird suggestions of stuff to ask you guys. Like, what would you do if you had a mythical pet? Or what kind of mythical pet would you have? What a dumb thing to ask. Yeah, that whirring sound was crazy. Oh, nice. Oh, so you developed for a PlayStation 4. Dude, that's awesome. Well, thanks for joining. I appreciate that. That's really interesting. I don't have that kind of skill. I'm far more an amateur at virtually everything. Sounds like you're quite learned in the programming world, so happy to have you along. All right, so we got invalid configuration, as to be expected, probably a dead battery. 2.8 P4, 1 megabyte of integrated L2 cache. So probably stood up pretty nice against the existing hyperthreads at the time. Let's go ahead and just start up Windows normally. See if it gets to a boot. Whoo! It's the blue screen of death. We've got one. All right. I love a good blue screen. I know back in the day it was irritating, but who doesn't love a good blue screen? It's going to give me a hard stop here. All right. Well, a page fault, huh? In the IT world, I always hear, have you tried unplugging it and plugging it back in? So let's just do that. We'll give it some power. Power on, power off. Memory failures. All right, well, whatever. Sounds like we might have some bad RAM. Let's just give it a normal start. Wow. NTFS driver's missing. Okay. Might just do a last known configuration. Okay, CAD, huh? That's interesting. I had the chance to do some CAD work in high school, actually, but I didn't have the room in my schedule to do it, which I'm kind of bummed about now. Would have been a great skill set to learn, but we'll do last known. We were running CAD on old IBM Pentium machines. I think at probably 100 megahertz or less. So really, really old stuff, probably quite dated, but that's awesome. All right, well, I'm going to guess we've got memory fault issues or a hard drive issue or both here. So we do know it fires up, which is great. I'm going to give it one last shot, and then we'll just move along. All right, last known. Yeah. All right, no big deal. We know it powers on, so there's probably something in here worth saving. And if not, it's not the end of the world. But we'll save that power supply for sure. We got a modem in here. Board's probably nothing to write home about. The processor's nice though. So I think we're going to put this in the good old scrap pile. Maybe there's a good hard drive in there we can install a different operating system on. Let's see. Let's take a look at something a little different here. This is a nice light Dell. This one's equipped with a Core i3. This one's an Inspiron 3847. I love how light it is. Somebody put a drink on the top. It's got a nice ring there. Built for Windows 8, it looks like. And based on this little broken piece here, somebody had a wireless mouse or keyboard that they were using, and it was made by Black Web. Not familiar. But you can maybe save it if you wanted to. That's going to go in the bin though. All right, let's see if we get tiles made for Windows 8. I don't know if anybody actually kept Windows 8 for very long. I kind of liked Windows 8. I thought it was neat. I think a lot of people thought it was neat for about 5 minutes. Magic Man, head over to my Facebook page, Urza Master on Facebook. Send me a message on there, and I would be very interested in that wiring diagram. Thank you, by the way. All right, we had a quick on-off there. Whew, this might be a dead power supply. Kind of interesting. Huh. Reset button on the power supply. It's been a long time since I've seen one of those. But let's just see if anything happens here. Seems like something should be happening. Got power. Fans are running. I'm going to say no dice on this one. Any number of reasons why that could be. We'll do a case dive on this one. It's an old clam. Oh, it looks like a clamshell. It's not. It's just a sliding case with some nice little screws. I'm honestly just interested to see what this Core i3 looks like on the inside. But no boot means bad board, probably. That's okay. It was built for Windows 8. It's got a Core i3. It's not exactly a great build, but it's got some memory in there, processors in there. Kind of a nice form factor. I can see through the side panel here. We'll put this in the needs a little more time pile. Let's see. The next one we've got. This is one I've never actually heard of. So this might be interesting for y'all to see. This one's equipped with a Core 2 Duo. It's built for Windows Vista. It's a Dell Vostro 410. It's got a floppy drive in it. So it's of that weird era where we still use floppies, but we really didn't need to. I like that it's got the power LED on the back. It's always kind of handy because I'm always kind of questioning whether or not something's actually getting power. And we've got a discrete video card in here. So it was built for Vista. Oh, shit. Vista Business. And something in there just popped when I plugged that in. That's interesting. Let's hit the power button and see what happens. All right. Woo! That's a first. Y'all got to see my first ever plug and pop. I can definitely smell something. So something in here did not like being energized. Let's open it up. Let's take a look. Woo! That's definitely some electrical smell. I don't know if there's any smoke y'all saw in there or not, but this one failed the smoke test, which is awesome. Let's see. It's definitely a blown capacitor. Woo! All right. Oh, it's a dead power supply. It's a light on, which is, I guess, not all that surprising for a dead power supply. But looking at the board, got discrete video here. It's an Asus. So we've got some stuff to save in here. Good hard drive, optical drive, of course a floppy. Always save the floppies. They're a dying breed. But this is going to be a scrapper because the case is shiny and kind of nice, but well, maybe I'll save the case. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. But that power supply has got to go with a blown cap. I don't know that's going to be worth taking apart, but we might take that apart later. We'll see. All right. Put her in the scrap pile. All right. So how lucky is that, y'all? We've got our first blown capacitor so far. Let's see. I've got another small form factor. This one has a late model Intel Pentium, built for Windows 7. It's a Inspiron. What model Inspiron do we have here? Inspiron 537S. Definitely a business machine because everything is on board. No discrete nothing. And we've got just VGA. So this is definitely like an economy grade style. What's interesting is it's built for 7 Home Premium. I might have misspoken there. It's built for 7, sorry. But Windows 7 Home. So this is just an economy model here with a Pentium. It's passed the smoke test. This one didn't blow up on me. And okay, unlike previous Dells, this one didn't automatically power on. Let's go ahead and hit that power button. I hear the hard drive moving. Very quiet, but an immediate boot. No boot device available. So it's got quick boot enabled. No hard drive. So let's see if we can maybe force it back to setup. And let's take a look. We've got a American Megatrends BIOS. This is such a classic BIOS look. I don't know if any of y'all are interested, but if you're ever looking at the different BIOS versions out there, American Megatrends is by far my favorite. It just has such that classic Unix look. Yeah, Magic Man, the link to Facebook. Let me see if I can drop this in the chat. You'll have to forgive me. I'm working off of my cell phone here, so give me just a moment while I try and respond to you. Sorry, I am new to streaming. I'll be honest. I've tried it a couple of times because I'm still trying to get it right. And I don't know that I'm going to be able to actually type back to you. Hey, appreciate the info. It's URZA space MASTER, Urza Master over on Facebook. If you put me in the search, you should be able to find me. If not, I'll post a link in the description here when this hits the recordings, and hopefully I'll be able to tag you there. But appreciate the info on those power supplies. System info on this one: Inspiron 537S with 4 gigs of RAM, and it looks like almost a gig is eaten up, which is interesting. It's DDR2 at 800 megahertz. And it's a Pentium dual core, E5300 at 2.6. Those Pentium dual cores were kind of sweet back in the day. Yep, Magic Man, that is correct. Urza Master. You can also hit me up on my other channel or other Facebook page if you can't find that. And it's pending rebrand. Exactly what you think it is. Pending as in it's waiting to happen, and rebrand as in it had a brand and it is being rebranded. Yes, it's a stupid name, and yes, that's why we chose it. But that's my podcast channel. It's here on YouTube and on Facebook, so if you can't find Urza Master, hopefully you can find Pending Rebrand. But cool beans. So we don't have a boot device in this one, but we have a perfectly good system, and this thing is quiet as a mouse. Thankfully, it doesn't have a mouse in it like the other Dell from the last stream. So we'll go ahead and turn that one off here. And we'll pull our video and power. And we've got 3 more Dell desktops to go. I'm going to put this in needs a little more attention because that might be one we keep. And this one here is a Core i5 built for Windows 7. This is, I believe, also an Inspiron. Nope, this is an Optiplex. Optiplex 3010. This one also has basically everything on board. Standard VGA output for video, but it also has HDMI. So a little bit upgraded video package on this one. Let's go ahead and fire this one up here. Looks like it went to auto boot on me, like some of the other Dells, but we'll see. Oh, shoot. It doesn't support images, huh? Well, just hit me up on there, send me a message, and I'll see if I can get a way to get you a link or something, and we'll figure that out. Let's fire up this Optiplex. Not as quiet as the last one, but not loud. Looks like we've got a good power on. The trick will be, is there any kind of boot device in here? System memory's changed. Okay. Let's just let it roll forward and see. Starting up Windows, so we've got a boot device. I'm not confident, but I think this one I may have actually had in use at one point. Yeah, and Magic Man, I might just connect with you from my personal page. Just if you want to message Urza Master, I can pull the information over to my personal, and I think that messenger will allow you to send stuff. All right, well, we've got a Windows 7 Pro machine here, an admin, a scan person, and a bookkeeper. Being that there's a bookkeeper involved, this is a great time to remind anybody who's going to be recycling a machine for their business or personal use, always make sure you reset your system to factory settings before recycling it, or pull the hard drive and save that for your personal cleaning use. Do me a favor though, if you have a hard drive, don't just punch a hole in it with a drill press. There's a lot of people out there that probably can't afford a modern PC or have a retro PC they want to use that in. Those are really cheap to obtain if you're going through a recycler or something, and you could really help somebody out by leaving it in there, myself included, by the way. So I am trustworthy. I try to market myself to my local communities as such. If I get something donated to me, as this machine might have been, I do make a very strong point of going in, wiping the hard drive clean, making sure, any personal data is off of the machine. I do keep the operating system, but that's it. As well, if there are any games or anything, but I've not had anything turned in like that. And most games that I would want to play are free on the internet now anyway. So that's my disclaimer. But hopefully the message gets out there. Please wipe your data off your computers. Not that I mind doing it, but not everybody is scrupulous. So just be cautious out there, folks. And by the way, if it is a Windows install this old, it really doesn't matter if the operating system's preserved or not. It's not like your registration is going to stick with it most of the time. Even if it did, these systems aren't supported anymore. So if anybody goes to try and use that system, they're not going to be able to reuse your registration information to really do much of anything. So just an FYI on that. But again, I do everything I can to protect people from having their stuff stolen as much as possible. All right, we've got 2 left, or actually 3 left, but one I believe I've featured on the channel in a video before. Actually, 2 of these have been on the channel before, so I'm not going to show those again here today. So we're going to wrap up on this one here. This is a local community donation, so I'm just going to quick pull the stuff off of it here. This is built for Vista Home Premium. It's an Inspiron 518, and this one was actually donated to me with the understanding that I would wipe their personal information off. I've not had a chance to do that. So hopefully it just boots to a login screen. Nice thing about this one is it's got a TV tuner card and discrete video. So that's pretty nice to have around. Oops. I'll go ahead and plug into the VGA here, which one beef I have with these Inspirons, this little guy right here. Your plug for your VGA bumps right up against that. It's kind of irritating. Just in case Dell ever decides they want to re-release a retro machine, don't pick this one. This has a switch on the back of the power supply, which I really appreciate. It does prevent those sudden pops or surprise boots sometimes. Of course, if you energize a bad cap, could still pop on you. This one's got blue LEDs in the power supply, it looks like. And it looks like we might have a boot loop problem, maybe? Nope. Inspiron's firing up here. CMOS checksum error, so we got a dead battery. Pretty typical. Keep a nice stockpile of those CMOS batteries anyway. No boot device, so I don't know why they gave me the information, but looks like there's a SATA drive installed. I guess it's an optical drive up here. Let's just take a look. Yep, a DVD writer, and it's got a front tray. It might be for like a multi-card reader that's not installed, but yeah, it looks like no boot device. Just try and retry it, but all right. But we know we got BIOS, so let's see if we can force this into setup and just take a look at what we've got for options. All right. American Megatrends BIOS, gotta love it. So we've got an Intel Core 2 Duo, actually Core 2 Quad, sorry. Q6600 at 2.4 with a 8 megabyte L2 cache. Wow. With, looks like, am I reading that correctly? Is that 8 gigs of RAM with DDR2? That's pretty well stacked. Interesting. That's it's quite a bit of RAM for a build. I mean, this looks like it's been modified. We've got a wireless NIC card, we've got the TV tuner card, and the discrete video. So that's interesting. I really don't have a whole lot else to say about that, but I'm curious that they gave me the information on this like it had a boot drive in it. I'm curious that it doesn't. So it makes me wonder if there's a hard drive issue. But I know y'all didn't want to see teardowns exactly. But I want to see what's inside this. So if you don't mind, since we're wrapping up on this one, let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got inside here. Got one screw to remove. Let's just take a look and see. All right, so it's got a Corsair 600 watt power supply. Yeah, it's got 4 channels of RAM installed, so somebody definitely upgraded this from the base. Got discrete video. Looks like 2 gigabyte. It's a VT5450. I think that's an ATI card in there. And it does look like it's got the TV tuner device in it. A media style build. Yeah, no hard drive. Interesting. Looks like it had one probably up here. Maybe it was side mounted here at one point and they just pulled it. So really didn't need any of the information they gave me on this machine. Nothing to wipe because there's no drive. Well, hey, thank you, Urza Master fans. I appreciate everybody joining today. Magic Man Gaming 2014. Really appreciate the chat, buddy. Everybody who hopped in throughout the stream, really appreciate y'all. This is Dellapalooza. I do still have 2 Dells that we didn't go through, but to be honest, they're featured in other videos. If you click back through my archives, you can see them. Nothing really spectacular about those 2 machines. A couple of them that really aren't nothing to write home about, to be honest with you. The next live stream event I will probably do is going to be on Hewlett-Packard, so HP machines. Between Dell and HP, that's probably everything I have in my back stock right now in terms of towers. I have a few compacts as well, but primarily HP and Dell. Pretty much the big ones that you would see in the marketplace anyway. But thanks again for joining the stream today. Really appreciate you all. If you enjoy this kind of content or hobby content, electronics content in general, you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Drop me a like, drop me a comment. Let me know if there's other things you want to see. We've got a lot of stuff that I can make content with, and I'm definitely going to be featuring some of these machines again, either as I scrap them out or go through them. If you enjoy just hearing me blab, you can always hear me over my podcast channel, pending rebrand, right here on YouTube. Myself, Lord Uther, and our friend Fert Derby will be coming back Thanksgiving with more NFL action, more Star Wars, more Star Trek, and of course, good old Hank Hill impressions by yours truly. Those come out typically on shorts, but really appreciate y'all again. Thank you. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we will see you at the next go round.